Hello everyone and welcome to Game 5 in a best of 5 series. Always love saying those words as it is going to be the deciding game between MC and Puma here on Antigua Shipyard. Now, this version of Antigua Shipyard does not have gold mineral patches in the center, and I believe it is forced cross spawns. Now, MC spawning over here on the bottom left-hand side of the map as the red Protoss player. Meanwhile, Puma spawning as the blue Terran player over here on the right-hand side at the 3 o'clock position. These games have really gone down to one engagement, one mistake, and then having the rest just completely snowball. The games have been fairly even, and with that have been made for some really exciting games. You can't really tell when the game's going to end unless you look at the YouTube timer, but then again, I ask you guys not to do that. So hopefully you guys are watching the games with me and enjoying it, as we'll see what the strategies will be. So far, Puma has been opening up with a barracks at 12, followed with a command center around 16 to 17, depending if he does get an additional supply depot to do the wall off. Meanwhile, MC, after scouting out the fast expansion, has been doing a 1-gate expand. Now, things have been pretty interesting. MC in Game 4, very effective with the harassment, but already things are changing up a bit as Puma now goes for a 13 gas. So the 13 gas already being placed down. Now Puma could try to build up a supply depot here and then make it appear, and by cutting SCVs, that he is trying to do a fast expansion attempt. And it looks like, is he going to be doing that? Yes, he is doing exactly that. As you see, the supply depot is being built. You can see that supply depot there being built, and MC, if he mistakes this for a fast expansion attempt, may be surprised greatly, as he may not have an observer out for, say, cloaked banshees. The refinery already harvested about 60 gas. It is going to be a little bit more time before we are able to start training up or building up a factory, as I believe that is going to be what's coming next. A marine now making sure that there are no proxy pylons, and an SCV now moving across in order to push away this probe. There is this factory here, and I love this play by Puma. Puma changing things up and perhaps making MC think that one thing is happening when in fact another is in fact happening. So is MC gonna fall for it? Is he gonna go for his fast expansion and perhaps delay his robotics facility? That will be the key point, as a zealot and a stalker most likely will be charging across the map. Marines now pushing away at this bunker. Is there going to be a bunker on the ramp? That would be the next telltale sign that they are trying to go for some sort of defensive play, as Puma now getting up only 1 gas though. So with only 1 gas, he is not going to have enough for cloaked banshees or just banshees only. He is training up a Hellion, but I don't know if I quite agree with this. It's not really going to be able to deal as much damage as I would like. And you can see a bunker now being established here, and now a nexus coming in from MC. So MC going for that nexus should be able to get a nice strong economic lead, knowing that his opponent really can't deal a lot of damage with those banshees, since they will get taken down by stalkers. The stalker was able to get off 1 shot onto a marine. A bunker is about to be completed here, and now it looks like it is going to be a drop instead. So it is going to be a Hellion drop, and I'm not sure if this will be that effective. The Hellions are not going to be of the blue flame variety. Even if they were, they would not be able to 2-shot. SCV quickly gets destroyed. There is still a probe over here, and MC could easily throw down an additional 2 gateways and then really put a lot of pressure on this front door. And Puma is not going to be able to exchange very well, since he doesn't have his orbital command. 3 Hellions are already out now, and perhaps he is banking on MC reinforcing and with a proxy pylon here and having all of these gateways on cooldown. That would be the key moment, as we now see 1 gateway upgrading into a warp gate. The probe, however, does spot the Hellions there, and this is going to be huge. The sentry is going to the Hellions going to be able to simply walk in here, and this is going to be perhaps a really bad engagement, as the Hellions now going to go to town on some of these probes. The probes, some of them are getting destroyed, some workers are already getting killed. Another worker getting killed there as the Hellions are now going to try to battle it up against the sentries. Is this Hellion, yes, going to battle up alongside, going to be able to get the wall off here? And it looks as though, yes, another sentry does go down. The Hellion unable to squeeze by here. And that was a huge play by Puma. Puma getting in 8 or 10 worker kills. It is now 23-24, but MC, I would still say, has the advantage, since he does have 2 Nexuses in order to train units. The Marines now making a move though, and the Marines doing a great job pushing back and taking down multiple stalkers, or sorry, just one stalker, as the Marines with that medevac looking to move across the field once more. The stalker is in a bad position now, trying to run away, down to 72 hit points. Will be forced to continue to run. We can see that a command center is about 2/3 of the way done. We should be adding on a reactor here, as medevacs are still being added. SCV, is this SCV actually going to try to build another command center here? That would be an interesting play. No, instead going to build a bunker on the front door, as a medevac going to go for a drop. The stalker may actually catch this, and yes, does catch this. All of these stalkers now need to run all the way back in. Is it going to be enough? Zealots are now warping in, and the Marines in a perfect pocket in between these buildings, but the sentry is actually outranging, so the sentries will be able to deal damage to those Marines. Now the Marines actually able to slip out of here, doing a little bit of damage one shot at a time, and now forcing a retreat once more. I thought that gateway was perhaps all the way up against the ledge. It was not, so the Marines were able to push out. The Zealot is getting caught one there, as now we see a Zealot trying to walk inside the base. You can see the Marines and the Marauders jumping inside the bunker. The Stalkers simply going to ignore it, as the Zealot now trying to push away. The supply depots could raise up. It looks like that could be happening. The medevac for some reason nowhere nearby. And with that, if any more units get lost, that would really be a mistake on Puma, as Puma could have saved up some of those SCVs. A really good battle now going back and forth. Both sides trying to punish the other when they're away from home, but both sides really have not dealt enough damage. Puma did get off a lot of probe kills, but that only evened things up since MC had his Nexus up a little while longer. This proxy pylon still has been spotted, or is now still up. It looks like a Marine or 2 Marines and a Marauder going to finish that off very easily. And MC pretty much has no choice but to give up that key forward position. SCV and a probe hanging out at the Zonaga Tower together. The SCV could perhaps scare away the probe, losing a lot of sight now in the center. And who is going to be able to get all of that key information? MC now researching Blink. Doesn't have weapons upgrade though, as 1 Marine and an SCV now pushing in to hold the center here. The key thing will be, how are these Marines and the Marauders going to be utilized? Puma now with 4 medevacs, and Puma trying not to make the same mistake as he did in game 1, where he overinvested in medevacs and didn't have enough units to really heal. And the medevac has not spotted anything here. A Marine now going to chase after a probe. That probe will fall, and now perhaps this Marine is going to hide off here, as sentries are going to go try and clean it up. There's still a group of stalkers nearby. If a drop is tried to execute, MC could clean this up very easily. Stalkers now making their way in. The Marines and the Marauders on the low ground. The stalkers, are they going to blink? No. If the medevac had picked up any of those units, that would have been just detrimental, as MC would have blinked after those units, focused down the stalker, or focused on the medevacs, and then each medevac would have been about a 500 resource loss. Stalkers now making their way in, and yes, 1 medevac, no medevacs lost in that engagement at all. 1 medevac very low on hit points. The stalkers could blink once more. Yes, it looks like some damage. 1 medevac down, 2 medevacs down, and another very low on hit points. But both of those medevacs very high on hit point, or high on energy. Perhaps some SCVs will be brought over to repair them, as the stalkers now once again charging in. Stalkers doing a little bit of that blink micro once more, making sure now Guardian Shield being added to add some durability to those units. The stalkers now being forced to retreat, as the medevacs are currently just in the air, healing up more and more of these units. Double forges now being added, Templar archives being added as well. Stalkers attempting to walk away, sentries walking away once more, Stalkers doing some nice blink micro back up onto the high ground, and now perhaps expecting a drop to happen sometime soon. Sentries clearing up this one Marine as a command center already upgraded to an orbital command, lifting off and landing at the 12th position. Puma with perhaps a slight advantage now because he already has up his third base. He can lift it off and land it at just a moment's notice. Not quite sure why he isn't taking it yet. 59 harvesters compared to 48. MC not too far behind though, as we see Stalkers now engaging in the center, and that was not a good engagement for MC at all. This one probe will get taken down. The Stalkers now forced to retreat. The Stalkers are upgraded 0-0 as Puma's upgraded units are upgraded at 1-0, now going into the Mobius reactor and also Terran infantry armor upgrade. So the infantry will be upgraded 1-1 at about the same time. The Protoss units are upgraded 1-1-0. 131 over 148 compared to 124 over 145 supply for both sides. Stalkers expecting a drop, but they are never coming in right now, and this is a huge loss for MC, as MC perhaps constantly expecting drops, not able to keep his Stalker ball all together, and that's really what he wants to be able to do, keep his Stalker ball together in order to maximize its damage. But he wants to make sure he doesn't fall victim once again to another medevac drop. Archons now being added, Psystorm being added, as we are now going into personal cloaking. Archons very weak to ghosts, just because of the EMP shockwaves able to deplete so much of their shield points, as the Stalkers are able to blink away once more before the damage was any serious damage was dealt. You can see that the Stalkers pretty much all full on shield points now, as the destructible rocks are going to get destroyed rather quickly. The Marines and the Marauders soon to be 1-1, but the Stalkers already at 1-1, as we now see the units trying to figure out where they're going to go. There are ghosts here. The ghosts could come in with some EMPs. The factory giving off a lot of critical scouting information. And is the EMP going to come in? Yes, the EMP does hit. Archon takes a lot of damage there. Zealots now going to try to charge in. The Zealots do have charge, and here we go, but with no Psystorm, this is not going to be a good engagement. MC now needs to get that Psystorm off, and is he going to get it off? Yes, he does. And so many of the Marines and the Marauders now forced to retreat, and with that, a little bit of that stutter step, it gives MC a little bit more chasing room. And now I believe MC has evened up this battle. More Marauders and Marines coming in across the center, but there are so many Stalkers. There are a lot of medevacs, but the Stalkers could easily focus down faster than the medevacs can heal. Only one medevac can heal a unit at a time, and MC takes the advantage here. That Psystorm coming online at just the right time. Zealots now gonna try to come in from the far side. The charge is activating. Stalkers could blink after those units. Are they going to blink after the medevacs? It looks as though they are not, as the medevacs, yep, one medevac does get taken down, a second medevac getting taken down, and now Zealots still with that charge eating through the army, and Puma now down by 30 food, as the main third expansion is gonna perhaps suffer a little bit of damage. More reinforcements coming in, no proxy pylon, so no home field advantage has been moved across the field yet for the Protoss, as the Zealots getting in some easy shots on a slow Zealot, the Marauders getting in some easy shots on the Zealots, as they are slowed down by concussive shells. 72 probes versus 52, but there are 5 mules in play. I'm surprised that the mules are not currently mining away at the third. You want to try to strip mine your third as much, but it looks like he is almost strip mining his natural instead, as a Nexus now being placed down by MC. MC taking a lead in this game and not wanting to let go. More Zealots being added. The Zealots are upgraded 2-2, and here we go. A missile turret trying to be established here, but with no real reason, as the Zealots are not going to charge in after those units. Are the Archons going to be able to push through? That is the key question. The Zealots now pushing their way in. Sentries and Stalkers. There is one High Templar in this group. All of those units have been forced to run all the way back. The Archons could have finished off many of the SCVs, And are we gonna have another fight where Psystorm does massive amounts of damage? The Marines and the Marauders still trying to battle it out over here. You can see that the Ghosts are trying to move back and forth once more. Sentry is trying to push in. And how much damage can be had? EMP Shockwave across a lot of critical sentries here, and that is going to be a hard hit. A lot of damage dealt. Archon's now trying to retreat once more. Puma now in a full retreat as the Marauders and the Marines taking down key units once again. SCVs sitting off here. We'll see how much damage can be dealt. The Zealots once again going to charge in and charge after a lot of those Marauders and Marines. Again, how much damage is being dealt, not quite sure, as the Marauders and the Marines finishing off some of the Zealots here. The Zealots getting a good surround. An EMP hitting off one of the Archons, and it looks like a Psystorm trying to be dealt, and it looks like it will happen, as nope, the Ghost on the high ground getting in the damage instead. So that one Ghost getting in a key kill. But Puma is now down to still half the food count, as some workers were lost, 72 to 26, and now a new round of reinforcements and Archons being merged in once more. Archons move much more quickly. That is why it is better in these hit and run tactics, especially since there is not as many bio units any longer. A drop looking to execute and take down many probes. We'll see how much damage can be dealt. The medevac, however, low on energy, and there's not very much in the main base, so there's not that much economic damage that can be dealt. Level 3 weapons and armor upgrades being added. Zealots and Archons being added off over here. Stalkers now doing a bit of a push here as well, and we'll see what's going to happen as the Stalkers are now trying to finish off and take down many of the medevacs. Here we go, the medevac going to land and take down perhaps a couple probes. There's only about a total of 6 probes inside the main base right now, simply negligible at this stage, as there are so many Zealots, Archons, and units inside the main base. One pylon now down, another pylon may get taken down as well. So we are now down to 1 or 3 unpowered warp gates. The Marines and the Marauders trying to stagger themselves, and it looks like this drop will get cleaned up. The medevac, is it going to get finished off? Yes, it does. And the Marines unable to jump inside the medevac at all. Puma now back up to 4 Ghosts. Those Ghosts going to be critical and key in dealing with those Archons and these High Templars. Nope, only Archons, as the Archons are going to be upgraded 3-3. Puma doing a great job trying to hang in this game, but MC may have too much momentum on his side, as the Marines and the Marauders now try to engage here. There is that high ground stutter stepping, trying to get back. It looks like Ghosts, yes, are cloaked, but the Ghosts are cloaked, and that means that there's not going to be enough for EMP. The Ghost dealing a lot of damage right now. No observers in this group. Another cloaked Ghost, no. And Puma says GG. MC taking this game and this best of 5 series over Evil Geniuses Puma here on Antigua Shipyard. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this series from IEM. And once again, thanks to all of these casters. One day I do plan to cast with you. Yep. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.